Welcome to F1 Blogs. We're going to do a deep dive,
Yeah.
into Fernando Alonso's future.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a bunch of recent articles from Spanish sports news, and they're all focusing on,
Oh, cool.
Alonso's last race of the season,
Mm-hmm.
his salary compared to other drivers, and also just his thoughts on, upcoming years.
Right.
And what struck me is, even though he's had a bit of a tough year this year, it seems like he's still considered highly valuable and making strategic moves for the future.
Well, let's dive in then. What do we got?
So let's start with his performance in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
He finished 9th, which on the surface doesn't seem that impressive.
Right.
But he was driving a struggling Aston Martin.
Well, and that's the thing with Alonso. He always seems to kind of get the most out of
Yes.
whatever he's in, you know?
Yeah, and get this, he actually drove the last 4 races
Oh, wow.
with a shoulder injury
No kidding.
that he picked up in Brazil.
Yeah.
He was taking painkillers to compete.
That's wild. Well, that makes that 9th place finish all the more impressive.
Yeah.
And he's the 4th highest paid driver, right?
Yeah.
So
Despite not having a top car.
yeah. I mean, clearly that consistency and that sort of like dedication to just toughing it out
Yeah.
counts for something.
There's one quote that stood out to me where he said that he's taking the positives from what he called a difficult end to the season.
Yeah.
And, he sees it as a learning experience.
So what is he looking at for the future then?
So looking ahead to 2025, he's pretty realistic.
Yeah.
He doesn't think Aston Martin is going to make huge strides.
Yeah, well, especially, I mean, you think about it, McLaren won the Constructors' Championship, so it's going to be hard to catch up with that.
Exactly. So he's viewing 2026 as his only opportunity
Oh, wow.
with Aston Martin to make a title challenge.
Interesting.
And there's 2 main reasons for that.
Okay.
One is that there are major regulation changes.
Right, the big shakeup that everyone's been talking about.
Yeah. And the second reason is
Let's hear it.
Adrian Newey is joining Aston Martin
Oh, wow.
in
Well,
2026.
so you got Alonso with this incredible drive and experience, and then you've got Newey, the, mastermind designer, all under this brand new set of regulations.
Exactly.
That's a pretty potent combination.
Yeah. And so it makes sense why he's putting all his chips on 2026.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about beyond the racing, though? What about other stuff?
So something we don't hear a lot about is that he's become a mentor
Oh, interesting.
to young drivers like Gabriel Bortoleto and Pepe Martí.
Huh.
So Bortoleto just won the F2 championship
Wow.
and is moving up to F1 in 2025 with Sauber.
Nice.
And Alonso has been really key in his development.
So he's not just focused on his own career. He's actually trying to, build something for the future.
Yeah, and it's not just that he's going to have drivers that he represents in every single formula category in 2025.
Right.
Every formula category.
Wow.
Which is just incredible to me.
Yeah, that's a wide reach that shows he's really thinking about this in the long term.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we've got this mentor, Alonso.
Yeah.
We've got this 2026 title challenge, Alonso.
Yeah.
What about after 2026?
Yeah, that's the big question, right?
Yeah, he's going to be 45.
Yeah. His contract ends with Aston Martin.
Right.
He's said that if he feels himself slowing down or not enjoying it anymore, he'll retire.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You got to know when to walk away.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of drivers who hang on too long.
Yeah.
But he says he's open to racing beyond 2026.
Oh, okay.
If he's still competitive and having fun.
I mean, you can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
If you're still at the top of your game and you're still enjoying it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Okay, so we've kind of got a picture of where Alonso stands right now.
Yeah.
We've got him ending the season with this gutsy performance.
Yeah, despite the car and the injury.
Yeah, and still commanding a top salary. And we've got him looking ahead to 2026 as his big shot at another title.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's building this whole mentorship program, which is going to have an impact beyond just his own driving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's clear that Alonso's not just thinking about himself, he's thinking about the future of the sport.
Yeah, so it kind of makes you wonder, knowing his ambition and how he likes to reinvent himself.
Yeah.
How will he continue to influence the world of motorsport after he does eventually hang up his racing gloves?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how he's kind of, approaching this part of his career.
Right.
It's not just clinging on for dear life, He's actually making choices to have the biggest impact.
Yeah. It's like he's playing chess,
Right.
He's thinking so many moves ahead.
Yeah.
You know, he understands 2025 might be a building year for Aston Martin.
Yeah.
But he's really setting himself up
Yeah.
for that 2026
for sure
title challenge.
He's not sugarcoating it either. You know, he's not saying, oh, yeah, we're going to be right there.
Right.
He's saying, you know, we got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost seems like he likes that.
I think he does.
Yeah.
You know, that challenge.
I think he thrives on it.
I think so.
You know, proving people wrong.
Yeah, remember how many times people wrote him off? You know?
Yeah.
They said, oh, he's done.
Yeah.
He's washed up.
Yeah.
And then
he comes back.
Every time he comes back stronger.
Yeah. You know, it's like he's got that competitive fire.
Sure.
Still burning, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And this mentorship thing, it just adds a whole other element to it, you know?
It's like he's building an army, you know, of champions.
Yeah, he's thinking long term.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's not just thinking about himself.
It's like a legacy thing.
Yeah.
He's leaving his mark on the sport. And I think that's what makes him such a fascinating figure. You know, in Formula One, like, he's always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
You know?
He's always looking for the edge.
He's not just relying on talent, you know?
Right. It's not just about being the fastest guy out there.
Yeah, it's about strategy and vision and understanding the sport.
It's about, you know, the whole package.
Yeah. And you know what else I like about him is just like the pure entertainment.
Oh, yeah. You know.
He's a showman.
Yeah, he's a showman.
I mean, the grin.
Yeah.
You know, the radio messages. The way he drives.
Yeah, he's just fun to watch.
Yeah, you know, even when he's not winning.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Doing something.
Yeah, creating moments,
like,
you know.
Making it interesting.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that more and more in Formula One now.
I think you're right.
You know, these drivers, they're understanding that.
Yeah.
It's not just about
driving fast.
Being fast. You know, it's about connecting with fans. You know, have a personality.
Yeah, it's like building a brand.
Right.
You know?
And he gets that. Yeah, it's like being an influencer. And, you know, it's a whole different thing now to be
for sure
a Formula One driver.
Yeah, you got to be more than just a driver.
Right.
You got to be...
You got to be an entertainer. You got to be a personality.
A brand.
Yeah. And I think he embodies that really well.
And he does it in his own way, too, you know?
Yeah.
He's not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
Right.
You know?
He speaks his mind.
He speaks himself.
Yeah.
And people like that.
Right.
You know?
And not some robot.
Yeah, polished, media trained.
Right.
You know?
He's a real person.
Yeah, he's a human being.
Yeah, with passions and frustrations and all that.
He's got a lot of talent.
For sure.
Speaking of the mentorship, though.
Yeah.
Like, let's dive a little deeper into that.
Okay.
So, you know, he's clearly really passionate about, you know, this next generation of drivers.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a section in one of the articles that focuses on his work with Gabriel Bortoleto.
Oh, yeah, the F2 champ.
Yeah.
Moving up to F1 next year.
With Sauber.
Big step.
Huge.
Yeah.
And Alonso has been super involved in his development.
Yeah.
You know, giving him advice on race strategy. You know, the mental pressures of F1.
It's huge.
You know, it sounds like he's really taken a hands-on approach. Yeah, there's actually a quote from Bortoleto where he talks about how Alonso is always there.
Wow.
You know, to answer his questions, to debrief races, you know, just to
be a mentor.
Yeah, just to be a mentor.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and, you know, to offer encouragement.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
And so you can really see that Bortoleto looks up to Alonso as a mentor.
For sure.
You know?
Who would wouldn't?
Yeah. And it's not just Bortoleto, it's other young drivers, too.
Right, like Pepe Marti.
Like Pepe Marti, who's competing in F3.
Okay, so he's really building this stable of drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
kind of amazing.
It makes you wonder what that's going to look like in 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
What kind of impact is that going to have on the sport?
Yeah, you could see a whole wave of drivers shaped by
Alonso
guidance.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just on-track skills.
Right. He's teaching them about the whole thing.
Yeah, he's teaching them about the media, about sponsorships.
Yeah.
About the business side of it.
The whole package.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So he's really setting them up for success.
It's like he's creating this well-rounded, you know,
driver that
can handle it all.
Handle everything.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome. So, yeah. So while he's got his, you know, focus on this 2026 title challenge, he's also building something way bigger.
A legacy.
A legacy, you know, that goes way beyond his driving career.
It's really cool to see.
Yeah. And I think that's really the key takeaway here is that
Yeah.
You know, his story is far from over.
For sure.
You know, he's still evolving. He's still challenging himself.
Yeah.
You know, and he's still finding ways to surprise us.
He's not done yet.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more to give.
Yeah. And he's not just driving. He's orchestrating this whole legacy.
That's a good way to put it.
That extends way beyond the racetrack.
Yeah. And that's why he's such a legend in the sport.
A legend.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to me, you know, after reading all this.
Yeah.
Just his self-belief.
Yeah.
Like, the guy is 43.
Yeah.
He's been through it all, you know, in Formula One.
Yeah.
And he's still convinced he can win another championship.
Well, and it's not like, you know, some naive kid just dreaming about it.
Right.
He's got the experience.
Right.
He's making smart decisions.
Yeah.
He's putting himself in the right position.
Exactly. It's like,
to do it.
I'm not done yet.
Right.
And I'm going to prove it.
He's not just hoping for a miracle.
Yeah.
He's making it happen.
He's making his own luck.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a good lesson for anybody, really.
Yeah, like you're not just a passenger.
Yeah.
You know.
You're in control.
You're in control of your own destiny.
Take charge.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've talked a lot about, you know, his driving and what he wants to accomplish.
Yeah.
But what about his influence, you know, off the track?
Yeah.
Like this mentorship.
Yeah, for sure.
Role seems like a big part of that.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, he clearly loves it.
Yeah.
He's passionate about it.
Yeah, he wants to develop his next generation of drivers.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's not just, you know, talking about it.
Right,
He's doing it.
Yeah, he's got drivers in every category.
Right, he's got this network.
Yeah.
It's going to have ripples, you know, for years to come.
It's like he's building his own racing dynasty.
Dynasty?
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, that's a perfect way.
Yeah. And so, like, think about, you know, after he retires.
Right.
Like, what could he do?
I mean, he could do anything.
He could be a team principal.
Yeah.
He could be a consultant.
A talent scout.
Yeah. He could, you know, scout talent.
Yeah.
Like, he's got so many options.
I bet he'll come up with something we never even thought of.
Yeah. Knowing him.
He'll find something.
Something totally new and innovative.
Yeah, he's not going to just fade away.
Oh, no.
You know.
He's going to be around.
He's too much of a force, you know, to just disappear.
I think we're going to be seeing Fernando Alonso
in Formula One for a long time.
For a long time to come.
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what he's going to accomplish.
Yeah, what's going to happen in 2026?
Yeah, in 2026.
How's this mentorship program going to play out?
Right.
What's he going to do after he retires?
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
So if you've enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to F1 Blogs.
Yeah, check out all our other videos.
For more Formula One content.
Catch you next time.